Hello and welcome back. Today I wanted to do a video and reflect back on the question, am I saddened by the fact that I went undiagnosed for so long, how that might have changed my life, question how no one ever even questioned the fact that I might be on the spectrum, and sort of then talk about, well, what would have been different if I'd have been diagnosed and I'd have had help and support. So, am I sad I never got diagnosed earlier? Yeah, I think I am. I think it would have radically changed my path through life. I carried this thing around with me and struggled with it for so long. There were times that I questioned myself, what's wrong with me? But I never made the connection. But then a lot of the time, what I do, I deem and think as normal. So there aren't very many cases where I can remember where I've had to stood back and say, that's not right. Normal people don't do that. In my world, everything I do is normal, and everything everyone else does isn't normal. And I had that philosophy and way of thinking for years, and that never put me on the road to taking that question further and asking, well, why do I think that? I mean, I think I was in an era when understanding, knowledge and education about mental health in general, and especially autism, it just wasn't there. It wasn't in the public domain like it is now. I think there are so many organisations and help out there for people that are struggling with autism and Aspergers, that if I was a teenager now and I got diagnosed, I think my life would have been a lot easier, to have that help and that support and professionals to explain to me what was going on. You know, I'm still on the road of discovery of what autism is, to be honest with you. I've gone a whole lifetime not acquiring any knowledge about it, which is why, you know, Aspergers and autism, you know, there's such a lack of understanding from people, because it's not been on the radar for anyone. So I am amazed, really, still, having said that nobody ever said, you know, I think you've got some autistic traits. I don't know what my reaction would have been. Probably would have been quite blasé and offhandish, and I'd have told them they were talking rubbish. But yeah, I think it would have changed a few things. Now, in the neurotypical world, I've had I'm not going to say successful life, I'm going to say I've had a functioning life. You know, I've had long-term relationships, I've had long-term jobs, I've got a daughter, you know, I've owned my own house. All of these things are, in a neurotypical world, they're quite normal things to do. In an autistic world, they're there are major accomplishments to be able to do those things in an alien world. So to do what I've done, you know, I can look back and think, well, I didn't have any help, and I struggled through, because, you know, there were parts of my life that were struggles, and I had conflicts and misunderstandings and the feeling that I never fitted in, and that the world was against me all the time, and that all I wanted to do was lock myself in my bedroom and be on my own. I had those feelings. But I had those feelings because it was Aspergers that was running the show. I just didn't know that. I think knowing would have made a lot of difference to me. I would have been able to, as I've said previous, I'd have been able to give myself a break. I'd love to do this video, you know, these videos again in a year's time, because, you know, I haven't even gone a year yet as being diagnosed, but already I feel like there are some burdens and weights being lifted off my shoulders as a result of my diagnosis. I can make adjustments in my life now to make the rest of my life easier than the first half of it's been. I am fortunate as well to be living in a era that has more understanding, has more willingness to understand. There's always more research being done, so that's all going to be of a benefit to me moving forward. You can't help what's gone in the past, but it can definitely help me moving forward, and just having that burden taken off of you of understanding, you know, all these major things that have happened to you in your life. You've had this thing shaping them called autism that you didn't know was there. Kind of makes you feel less weird, even though, you know, statistically I am the weirdo. I'm not the normal one. I'm the 1 in 10,000 or whatever the stats say. So I see autistic traits in people all the time now. Doesn't mean to say that I'm saying to them, I think you're autistic. It just, I'm more in tune to them now. And there might be a time when I actually say to someone, you know, have you considered, because I've known you for a while and I've noticed these things about you, or, you know, there might be a time when that comes along, you know, thinking that I wish someone had have put it in my brain. I probably would have shot the messenger, but the seed would have been planted, and once the seed's been planted in your head, it's very difficult to remove. So yeah, I'm a little bit sad that I went a long time and didn't know, but looking forward now, I think there are many positives, and I'm looking forward now to living the rest of my life and making adjustments for myself, to make that a more pleasant experience than it has been. So thanks for watching.